Hey guys, welcome back to Truth Bombs and Hot Flushes. Joining us today, all the way from Johannesburg. So we're so grateful to have you here in Durban. Let's welcome Karen Christalle Reddy. She's an admitted attorney and notary of the High Court, a corporate contract manager, a debt counselor, and a Masters of Law graduate with distinctions across all coursework. But behind the accolades is a story of survival, true survival. 16 years ago, Karen survived severe domestic violence at the hands of her ex-husband, an esteemed medical doctor and entrepreneur. After escaping with nothing but the clothes on her back, the abuse did not stop. It escalated. He weaponized wealth, status, and the justice system, opening 21 false civil and criminal cases against her. Karen was arrested and detained 7 times, including an entire weekend in Hillcrest cells. Forced to flee KwaZulu-Natal, she secretly rebuilt her life in Gauteng under a pseudonym, while fighting warrants and criminal charges. In a remarkable turn, she approached the NPA directly, and the cases and warrants were cancelled without further prosecution. Kudos to you. Her journey is one of faith, resilience, legal brilliance, and divine grace. She is now authoring her upcoming book, Take Me to the King, chronicling her path from victim to victor. So, Karen, welcome to Truth Bombs and Hot Flushes. We truly honored to have you in our hot seat today.
Wow, Chantal, thank you so much for having me. Well, that introduction, it actually makes me feel like this person who was introduced as someone who found the biggest gold mine. And when he got up onto the podium, he said, well, it actually wasn't me, it was my brother. And it wasn't gold, it was coal. It wasn't a mine, it was a hole, and he didn't find it, he fell in it. So that's how that introduction makes me feel.
My word, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, let's kind of take this back to, I know I want to delve into you being an attorney, and I mean, all the positives that have come out of this, which is there's huge accolades here, which we have to acknowledge. So actually, let's we just acknowledge that before we get to 16 years ago. So yeah, tell us, how's it going? How's Karen now?
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the law. I love the GBV work I do for victims.
Yeah.
It's definitely a calling. It's not just a title. It
Yeah.
goes far into more than just sitting across and consulting.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a lived experience. You get to and you also get to preempt things, and clients are sometimes find it like amazing. How did you know that?
Yeah.
Obviously I can't go
Yes,
into
yes,
detail,
of course.
but I absolutely love it. It's a calling.
Ah, lovely. I'm so glad that you found your purpose and your path, and it kind of both correlate together from what you've experienced and your career path. It helps, or for future, helps so many other women that are on this journey, starting this journey, thinking of going on this journey, who are sitting in situations that you were in all those years ago. So with that being said, let's go back to 16 years ago. Tell us how it all started, because I'm sure it must have been somewhat fairy tale in a sense, being married to a doctor or getting married to a doctor. It's like the so-called Indian culture dream, So yeah, take us back.
Okay, so I grew up in a very conservative home.
Yeah.
So we were basically, always in church and in Sunday school. And then after that, I was a youth leader.
Okay.
I know the irony of it all.
Yes.
So I moved up to Joburg. I worked at a corporate law firm. We were legal advisors to the government. And in that space, I was involved in the praise and worship there.
Wow.
I was in church basically every week with young adults. We had Sisters of Strength. And I was like this illegible bachelorette.
Right.
So I was unwell. I came to Durban to see my mom, and it was just a headache, and I went to the surgery. So, oh yes. And then he actually didn't he didn't bill me, which I thought was odd.
Yeah.
But didn't really
Just-
matter.
yeah.
I thought, he probably wanted some attorney favors.
And then exactly the barter system.
Yeah. And then he said that the pharmacy will deliver the meds. I
Okay.
went back home and he delivered the meds.
Wow. Very smooth, I have to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then he started to chat. But after that, I went back to Joburg, back to my life.
Yeah.
When I came back, but we were chatting
Okay,
in between,
okay,
right?
okay.
Fast forward. When I came to Durban again after a couple of months, he said that he will fetch me from the airport.
Okay.
So at that time, it was a little airport in Ispingo. It wasn't King Shaka.
Okay. Yeah.
So when I got out of the baggage area, just, walking innocently, and he was standing there. He had a bunch of red roses, a rock, not those, and a big poster, Karen Reddy, will you marry me?
Oh my word.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, oh my word.
So you must have, oh gosh,
Lord.
totally swept off your feet here, like.
Totally.
I mean, it's every girl's dream. You want to step off of the plane and have a guy there waiting to propose,
So like, okay, Lord, this is your gift.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I was like, of course. Not even yes. It's
Yes,
embarrassing.
yes.
Like, of course.
yes.
There is no drop down box with the no there. It's like, yes, absolutely, definitely,
Yeah,
tomorrow. That was the option.
Right.
And yes, that's how it started. Did I have that sixth sense intuition that this was wrong? Yes, I did. I did.
So were there red flags in the courtship, so to speak?
It was a
the
very,
texting,
very
yeah.
short courtship.
Yeah.
There weren't any red flags. He was super sweet, but I still had that underlying sense that something was wrong, something wasn't right. I cannot say that it was so perfect and I had no idea. I did, but I just went against my better judgment.
You know what, and we all are human. I think, sometimes we try and block that part off, and we just want to see the positives out of this. And I mean, come on, the guys at the airport with a bunch of roses, a bloody rock, and will you marry me? I mean, there's not a lot of women that are going to say, no, I think I might just think about it. Yeah. So then, how did that progress?
Well, I resigned from my job in Joburg, basically gave up everything that I had because I was marrying a multimillionaire. Why sell things?
Yes.
And my pastor married us. I refused to get married any other way. And we had a neutral reception. So there were red flags at the reception, but I'm going to unpack that in my book.
Okay. Yeah, we respect that. So, and then fast forward, of course, wedding's done, all of that. Then real life hits. Now you've moved in. Now he's your husband.
Real life, well, it wouldn't be slowly, I mean quickly, but subtly started to steal my identity. So the way in which you dress, what you eat, who you speak to,
The controls started.
the control
gradually
started
just creeping in.
quick but subtle. And as I mentioned about Christianity, so before we could get married, he bought me a Bible. He bought me Joel Osteen's Bible. And months down the line, he ended up burning that Bible on a braai stand. And I'm not talking about a little pocket Bible. It's a huge hardcover Bible. He burnt my Bible on the braai stand and he said, "Watch Jesus burn."
Oh no.
And that was like, okay. So I didn't marry Lucifer's cousin or brother. I married Lucifer.
Lucifer himself. That's next level.
That's next level. And what makes it worse, I had kids. So that's when the walls really started closing in. And survival mode took a different level. It wasn't just survival where, you have to survive physically. Your soul has to survive.
Exactly.
You have children whose souls have to survive.
And you also, I think, that motherly instinct also kicks in, as in, if my kids are going to have to bear witness to all of this psychologically, it really mess up kids in their future lives, and them as teenagers and as adults, and what they see is what they will interpret when they are grown, you know.
Chantal. You know, it's like the next generation or generations to come is doomed by such an atrocious act.
I think I'm still trying to gather myself, knowing, we all know there's evil in the world, don't get me wrong, it's oblivious to that, but taking a Bible, I mean, it's something that's so sacred, and burning it and then using those words is, we hate to be judgmental here, but
it's next level. But then again, I don't mean for this to sound like a sales pitch for my book, but the entire surroundings of that specific incident, it is fully disclosed in the book.
Oh, lovely.
Because nobody's just going to walk in, take a Bible and burn it.
Exactly.
So everything's disclosed. It's detailed.
Oh, lovely. I actually can't wait for this. But is the book, it's not out as yet?
No, it's not out. Okay. I'm still writing.
Okay. Oh, lovely. I'm sure that's going to be a Bible on its own, basically. Yeah. Yeah. So with regards to the abuse, because if we go into this, I mean, gosh, the abuse was severe. Really,
it's okay. You can speak about it. I'm comfortable.
Okay. So when did it start in like small bits of, because I know generally domestic violence, there's a little smack here or verbal abuse, and then it's just shunned off. Was it like that for you, and then it escalated to something worse, or
It did start off in a small way, if that's the term, and it escalated, but it escalated quickly. And also, so during marriage, my weight, excluding pregnancies, was between 35 to 38 kgs.
Right. I know, you're tiny. You're still so tiny.
But I know, it was there. So, the abuse escalated to a point of inhumanity.
Oh my gosh. And how would you deal? I feel like there's a lot of women that there are a lot of women going through GBV, and some of them are just silenced. But what was the thoughts going through your head at that moment? I mean, did the abuse start prior to you having kids, or clearly it carried on to when you had kids, but what goes through your mind that keeps you holding on even when you didn't have kids, to say, right, I'm going to push through, I'm going to try and make this marriage work? I'm like, let us get into your head of how.
Right. So it was after the kids. It started after the kids.
Okay.
And I think he knew that was his trump card, because I would never leave the children. At those specific moments, I'm not sure if any listeners would agree to me, but during that time, you don't really experience pain. Well, I never did. The pain came later for sure, but at that time, there's no physical pain. You basically go into survival mode. You don't think, you don't analyze, you don't consider yourself. It was just, my thoughts were, if he doesn't stop, I'm going to die. And my prayer was, Lord, don't take me, my children need me. So that was it. You gotta stay alive for your kids.
It's just, sorry, I'm just like so taken aback by, I know you will go a little in depth, but not as in depth, because the book is there and that's got everything that we need to know in there. But I mean, just knowing that you had to sit in a prison cell for a weekend and the multiple arrests, can you tell us a bit more about that?
Okay, so where do I start with that? It was crazy. So what he was doing, he was opening up cases in different police stations across Durban, because he used jurisdiction of the various places where he lived and practiced. So he could have said the incident happened here in Hillcrest. Well, he did say, and that's how I ended up in Hillcrest cells. And then he would go to Malvern and say something happened there that was ballet, and then his surgery crosses Malvern. And that's how he managed to get cases all across the country. So just to qualify that, it was 7 arrests and detentions. But the cases itself, Chantal, there was around 21 cases that he had against me. And if you want me just to touch on the Hillcrest arrest.
Please, yeah.
Okay, so the most important lesson I would say from that one, always use comfortable shoes.
Okay. Note to self, yeah.
Right. Note to self. Oh, and have breakfast.
Yes.
Because sugar bean stew is not for the faint-hearted.
No. And to have, oh my gosh, experienced all of that.
That again, yes, I went to work.
Yeah.
And after work, I was just heading home. And it was a marked police vehicle that just cut me off. And I turned around and he was there. So I just knew. It was another arrest. But this time, I already went through the process so many times. And then I asked the IO for his identity, the driver, and he was Colonel. Because it's factual and because this information is public, I can disclose the name. It was Colonel Gregory Joseph from Hillcrest. That came all the way to Chatsworth. I worked for the late Thiessen Pillay
Yes,
and his law officer.
Yes.
So he came all the way there to have me arrested. And
at this point, you had left your marital home.
Yes, I left. It was long over, and I left with nothing. I didn't want anything, so it was over. But he was still, using the legal system as such to abuse me. We drove to Hillcrest cells, and while we were sitting, while we were in the car, it was a long drive, and I kept on telling Colonel, I said, this is wrong. Why are you doing it? Would you do this to your daughter?
Yes.
And he was sympathetic in a way.
To a degree.
But I could see that, there was collusion.
Yes.
So when I got to Hillcrest cells, the sergeant who was fingerprinting me, he was saying, this is so wrong. And I turned around, I saw Colonel Joseph go into his office with the dockets. And then I saw him walk out and he locked his office. That's when I knew, this is a weekend.
Yeah, it's not
a
going
weekend
away
special.
so quickly. Yeah.
The fear, there's fear of the unknown. You don't know who's behind those bars. You don't know who you're going to be with the entire weekend. And Hillcrest cells, you get prisoners from all around. From Mulwani and Shungwani, they all end up in Hillcrest cells. So, yes, it was traumatic, but obviously not traumatic enough because I'm sitting here.
Of course.
And telling you about
if anything, it's clearly made you so much stronger.
I will give you the details about it. And in there, I met this girl. She schooled at Oprah Winfrey School for Girls.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so we had very interesting talks and... What a weekend.
What kept you sane in those moments, basically? A weekend is not a couple of hours.
No.
Yeah.
It was. My sanity has always been rooted in spirituality. So I did spend a lot of time praying. Well, when I walked in there, you don't want anything to touch you.
Yes,
There's this open plan toilet, so you can't eat or drink as such. And... the smell there, it's not exactly Gucci Rush.
Yes.
So, didn't want to eat, didn't want to drink, didn't want to touch anything. But by the end of that, it was Sunday afternoon. I was kneeling on the floor and I was praying. And I prayed and cited scripture, spoke to the inmates in there. And, you find that there is common ground. not on our criminality.
Yes,
but,
of course. Yes.
yeah, there is common ground. Everyone in there, they're scared. They're scared of the future. They're reaching for something better, and they couldn't believe why I was there. If you want me to touch on that very quickly.
Yes, please.
Okay, so why was I in Hillcrest Hills the entire weekend? So I wasn't on social media,
Okay,
right? Not on
okay.
Facebook.
Right.
He created a Facebook account, Karen Reddy. Right. And Karen Reddy was threatening him. And he was writing back to Karen and saying, don't do this, we have kids. And Karen was using vulgarities. And yeah, basically threatening his life. So he printed all that and went to his friends, and they opened up a case of defamation, criminal. So defamation can be civil or criminal. This
Okay.
was criminal defamation, and that's
How you
how I
basically
got arrested.
for a profile that you did not create. And
I wasn't even on social media. Even if I was, I wouldn't be chatting to him.
that's it. I mean, to go to that extent.
But I wouldn't bring this back to the screening process not being of a high standard where they can, like, just know this isn't true. It was collusion.
Yeah. Very
It,
downright
it was
clear.
collusion.
Yeah.
Totally.
Sure. So just going a little further back into when your mind was made up, that when was that moment that you like, because now you've had 3 kids and your little one may have been a baby.
My baby.
Yes.
He was a baby.
What actually like sparked? What was that light bulb moment that said, I am actually done, I can't do this anymore, and gave you that confidence and that boost to say, I'm leaving?
I'll give you a very high level account of events.
Okay.
It wasn't cinematic where I just grew my wings and
And
like,
you
okay,
decided,
I'm
right,
done.
I'm
yeah.
flying coop, yeah.
Put my heels on
Yes,
and walked
yes.
out. No, it wasn't like
Yes.
that at all. And so it was opportune moments. We were in the Hillary house.
Right.
And he was in Turkey. Right? And then from Turkey, he was watching the cameras and fighting with me. And I was there with his mom and his family, because my family wasn't allowed to visit because we were Christians. And he was fighting with me over the, what did I have? Oh, it was calling. I didn't even have a cell phone. Yeah. And then I told his mom about it, and she told me to stay there, don't go to Hillcrest, because I knew when he comes back he's going to be in such a
you
mode.
would, yeah.
So the Hillcrest house is a very isolated place,
Okay.
and because of the escalation that the abuse had reached, and at that time, Chantal, after my 3rd baby, I was 35 kgs. My body couldn't take more. So when he came back, he was very upset. So he was like, pack up, we're going to Hillcrest. And I said, I'm not coming, I want to stay here.
Yeah.
In that, very low voice,
Yes,
because it was
yes.
the first time I stood up to him, and he was shocked. He was more shocked than me. than
Yes,
I
yes.
And he looked at me. He said, "Car, it's just like words. There's no sentences." And I said, "No."
Yes.
And I'm more scared now. How did I tell this man
Yes,
no
yes.
again? So what he did was, he took the 3 children and he got into his vehicle and he drove off. Now I knew he was going to turn around any moment. And as I said, my body couldn't take any more abuse. That's when I told his mom, I can't stay, I gotta go, I gotta get out of here. And I told his sister as well, but his sister was like, she was happy about it.
Okay.
She actually wanted me to go.
Yeah.
She could see, the horrendous manner in which she was treated.
That was actually a question that I want to ask you as well, with his mum, because he was very close, or is very close to his mum, and of course he has a sister, and she's female at the end of the day, how did they, because clearly they knew abuse was happening.
Yes, they saw
know,
it.
so-
It was in front of them as well.
How would they react to it? Was there a protectiveness, or was there a, we're going to stand back, we don't want to get
Protectiveness.
involved? Oh, good.
Definitely
Yeah,
a protectiveness. I would always appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, irrespective of the years and the distance, I would always appreciate the
Oh, lovely.
protectiveness.
Yeah.
Yes, and I told his mom and his sister I'm leaving, and I walked out. I walked out with the track pants, t-shirt, and sandals. No handbag, no clothes, no bag, no clothes, nothing, literally nothing. I went down the road and I called my brother. My brother came and fetched me, and that's when I went home, and I just never went
Never
back.
went back. And how did it
That's-
play out, yeah, with the, because I know that must have been one of the most hardest moments of your entire life. Having to make this choice of, do I sit in this abuse because of my kids, or do I, yeah.
It wasn't a choice as such, because at that point in time when I left, I believed that I'm going to walk out and the children would be with me the very next day.
Yes,
or
yes,
few
yes,
days after
yes,
that.
yeah.
Had I known at that time that so much of time would pass with such alienation, I probably would never have left. Well, I wouldn't have been alive, but had
Yes,
I
yeah.
known that, I would not have left. So when I did leave, well, the very next day I was in court and, just trying to build up again. You must
Yes.
know I left, and people were bringing clothes for me in packets. Checkers packets and
Yes,
Nadia's
yes.
packets. We're not talking about the Queen's packets.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I had to, I was in court trying to, get access to the children, get the children back. And that's when he started with his false cases and arrest to prevent me
From taking the kids.
from getting access to the children.
Okay, so you did have mentioned that you had to relocate, go under a pseudonym. How was that for you, knowing that it's basically erasing Karen? And that's it's a lot. It's
It is.
yes.
It is.
How did you kind of cope with that and also get your life back on track?
I think the textbook answer to that would be I felt belittled, dehumanized. But it wasn't true. I was more empowered.
Yeah.
It was this person. Oh, and by the way,
Yes.
her name was Chantal Naidu.
Okay.
Chantal with the C.
Okay.
So Chantal with the
Yes.
C didn't have any baggage.
Okay.
SAPS wasn't after her.
Yeah.
She didn't have a psychotic ex after
Yes,
her.
yes.
There was no pain and trauma and scars.
It was peace.
There was peace. Chantal was brave.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I still wonder. I could have been, Ashwarya Rai.
There we go. But you chose Chantal.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, it's a big move. You moved to another city. How was that start? I just feel to give us an insight for women who are contemplating saying, right, I'm throwing in the towel for my sanity and I'm making that move. Where do you start? Where do you start with all of this?
Oh, you go and you marry another multimillionaire. And this time you get access to
Yes.
the PIN codes.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I worked 2 jobs.
Wow.
I did consulting and I worked at a mining firm. And then to solve articles, that was another issue. He reported me to the Law Society. They didn't allow me to serve, but eventually I did an appeal. And I just I pushed myself to the absolute maximum. So in 1 year, the year that I did articles, I did my PLT, I did 4 board exams, which I got the highest in the country.
Wow.
I did notary.
Well
I
done.
started my master's in that year. And then I opened up practice. So it was just...
Double high fives to you. Gosh, yeah. You really took your pain and turned it into purpose. Which,
I had to.
Yeah.
I had to.
Wow. I know you do say you've moved from victim to victor. How can you sum that up?
So victim to victor is a process. a victim is what happened to you, and a victor is what do you do with what happened to you?
Yeah.
How do you handle that? How do you change it? How do you bring something positive out of it? And yes, I fought through it, and by the grace of God,
Well, there's my next question.
process.
I know, yes, I know you. I mean, God plays a massive, massive
Of
role
course.
in your being. How was that over the years with your faith, and was it tested? Did you ever feel like giving up and saying, like, I'm done, God, why me? Why? Yeah.
A very interesting question. So, I used to have this dream where I'm standing at the gates of heaven and hitting it with baseball bats and saying, what kind of father will allow his daughter to go through this? And I used to say, Lord, didn't I serve you my entire life? How could you allow this? And, even my ex, I almost mentioned his name.
Yeah.
He used to say, where's your Jesus? How did your God allow me to do this to you? And then he used to say, look at your face in the mirror. Jesus didn't stop me. And, I used to even say, Lord, stand up. But all these years later, I do understand the purpose behind the pain.
Yeah.
And I will disclose that in my
your book, of course.
Yes,
of course.
I will.
I think, okay, so as a family law specialist, what are women not being told about post-separation abuse? Because I think there's a lot that women don't know. I mean, even if you see these female groups, and there's a lot of women who are going through separation, divorce, and there's a lot of things they don't know, and they're popping these questions on these groups, asking for advice. So you've been there, gone through all of this. What advice would you give to these women?
I would say, firstly, it's not easy, okay? And also, your circle starts off quite big, and then it diminishes over time. People move on with life,
Yeah.
and you find yourself just standing still if you relied too much on your circle. So you need to be self-reliant.
Yes.
Self-sufficient, and also this is a very difficult ask, but try to be less emotional and more strategic.
Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense, because our emotions, I mean, we're human. Emotions do get the better of you, but it can also a bit blind you as well to...
Yeah. And not everybody is going to sympathize with you. There will be a lot of people who actually stands by the perpetrator. So...
And I do know with social, I mean, with your case, there's a lot of people throughout South Africa that have seen it, followed it over the years. It has died down quite a bit now, but I do know in the beginning, because your ex did make it known. And for me, what I was taken aback by was the comments that supported the behavior. And
Chantal, that was, at that time it could have been traumatic, but now it's almost hilarious.
Yes,
It used to spread rumors of me living with this person in Pretoria, and the way he used to speak about this person, it was as if he actually existed. He said I was living with a cop in Pretoria.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I had a cop, a call center
He
agent.
had a career.
Call center agent. I hope he was making sales. At least I got
Exactly.
something.
Or maybe the head of the call center,
No, it was the agent. And I had a driving school instructor. But that I would appreciate, because I hate driving.
My word. So you've endured, I mean, a lot.
Yes,
Gosh.
it's been crazy.
I mean, there was no two ways about it. You had to write a book about this.
Absolutely.
Yes. So what can we expect? Because I feel like I wish this book was already on the shelf, because I'm so eager to read this book. So yeah, what can we expect?
Okay,
from it?
so the book discloses each arrest, what happened? The collusion involved their SAP's part in it. You must know he was friends, is, I'm not sure, with the Brigadier of Province. And she was instrumental in a lot of these arrests. So it discloses each one, my experiences in the cell, the IOs, and the abuse itself, the injuries, what led up to it, what happened after that. And I'm comfortable saying this. He reached that point where when he hits, he has to see blood. And when he sees blood, that's when he just becomes calm and would say, let me get you a Voltaren.
Oh God.
Let me get you something. It was really, really horrendous. And that's the physical abuse. There is also a element of psychological abuse,
definitely.
which is dehumanizing. But it is disclosed in my book. The reason I am disclosing it to the public is because I did disclose it to SAPS.
Okay.
So that's there as well. So the book is it's spiritual and it's raw. So I know these coexist. They don't coexist. Sorry, they don't. Because spiritual is neat and polished, and raw is uncomfortable, uncut. So there's a space between those two where the book exists.
Okay.
So, yes. So if you're looking for a legal guide, no, Take Me to the King is not for you.
Yes.
But if you want something unfiltered and real, it's for you.
I think that's what everyone is looking for in the day and age that we are living in, because there's so many women going through this. And I stand corrected with this as well, because it's not only women that are going through this, it's also the opposite way around. Men as well, experiencing abuse. So to have something that's real and raw and you in there, from your experiences, I think is going to be captivating to a lot of people, men and women alike, So yeah, kudos to you with that. With that, how do you, in this, like all these years later, protect your peace now?
So I do it intentionally. Not everyone has access to me. It's like there's a guest list who can speak into your life as such.
Yeah.
So I'm very careful who's in my circle, who I speak to, and what I disclose to people.
Yes.
And that for me is protecting my peace.
Yeah. So women in their 20s and 30s, because I know, pressure is real for young girls these days. It's like, there's so much of stigma on women who aren't married. And I mean, gosh, stop bringing that mentality from back in the day into where we are right now. But reality is that it's there. So women are feeling so much of pressure to get into relationships and then get married, and like everything has to go, accordingly. What advice would you give them? Because sometimes they are kind of blocked off to seeing the red flags, and then they start seeing it when it is too late, So what advice would you give them if you, in your 20s, 30s, just got into a fresh relationship and then it's progressed? And what to look out for, what to bear in mind. I mean, not all men are Lucifer's offspring, But, what advice would you give?
I'm a notary. Kindly contact me to do your ANC.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Build yourself first. I don't believe in two halves coming together. Be whole on your own. Build yourself, build your career, build your identity, and don't lose it to anybody. And there should be absolutely no pressure to get married and have kids, not in this day and age.
Exactly.
I do see that we have deviated from that a little bit as compared to our era. Yes.
Exactly.
If you're not married by 24, gosh, you're old.
And then you're old, you're a fossil. That's it. It's like, that's it. It's, so yes, it has moved a bit, but it hasn't moved completely. That's the sad.
It's a cultural thing as well.
Yeah. So, Yeah, no, good.
Yes,
ANC,
create your
ANC,
identity,
guys. Yeah.
travel, see the
Yes.
world. Don't get tied down. I'm not.
Yes. No, but I agree with you. I mean, I'm going to be married for 19 years and I'm so
Wow.
thankful for that. And
Well,
yes, husband's amazing. Also, sometimes you want to just strangle him. But I mean, comes with the...
GBV.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Sorry,
call
guys.
me.
Yeah, so don't mean that literally. But I think I constantly tell my younger cousins, and don't put that pressure on yourself. There's so much of the world to see.
Absolutely.
You know, just
absolutely.
explore and complete you. Don't have someone complete you. You know, it's when you choose to get married, if you find the one someday, you both will come together, but you're still individuals. And
Yes.
don't lose your identity.
Yes, and you're
It's so
responsible
important.
for your own happiness.
Yes.
You know, you're speaking about losing your identity. He even took my ID book. And that was symbolic in a way because I
course.
completely lost my identity. I didn't know who I was anymore.
And you must know you've had your ID book taken from you. Now you've gone over starting a fresh pseudonym. You are completely it's identity is something so important. So important.
Also, I feel stripped of my identity because whatever I took into the marital home, I left. So my musical box collections, my journals and diaries, my teddy bears, I still remember their names. You know, everything was gone. I started
And that's a part
with
of you.
zero. I literally started with nothing. If we can put a value to the track pants, t-shirt and sandals I left with, that year end.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So, wow. But I mean, look at you now. Again, we come back to you're standing strong. I mean, you're resilient. You're such an inspiration to so many women out there. So, yeah, I think a lot of positive has come out of this. So, if you could go back and offer some advice to the Karen that stepped off that plane and said, right, we're doing this, what advice would you
You
Get
get back into the plane, turn around, book
Run.
your ticket to come
Run.
back.
Oh my gosh.
Take the ring and run.
Run. I'm just about to say, like, yeah, you could have like grabbed the flowers, grabbed the ring and said, right, see you
Yeah.
later. But yeah.
Chantal, I don't know why I did it. Well, I do know why at that point in time,
Yeah.
but I regret it so deeply. I would never regret the children.
Of course not.
Never.
Yeah.
But that decision on that day, even just going to the surgery when I was unwell, why couldn't I just stick out the pain, take a
that's
Panado,
it. And-
love? I wouldn't die.
Yes. But you know what? It was your path, and to go through that, I'm sure you
Yeah.
realize that now, because definitely it's made you into a more like confident, resilient version of you, a better, extremely powerful version of you.
It made me real.
Yeah.
It made
Yeah.
me very real. It made me see a completely different side of life. I was very sheltered.
Yeah.
So at home, mom was a disciplinarian. You know, Indian
Yeah.
moms
Oh,
can be.
yes.
And they don't
yes.
miss either.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
My dad never touched us. I was a very good student, so teachers never even used to scold me. The worst thing I did was get a library fine because I returned my books like a few days later. So in this, I saw a very, very different side of life itself, which helps me to help others from experience. And experience certainly is the best teacher.
Oh, of course. 100% agree. And putting your book together, was it, you know, you're now going to start revisiting moments, revisiting that past that I'm sure a lot of it you'd want to suppress. Was it not a bit traumatizing for you?
It was. There are definitely parts. It's a mix. It's traumatizing. It's uplifting. It's impressive.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like, wow,
yeah.
Karen,
Yes.
well done. And then it was also belittling. Like, how could you allow that? it was a complete mix, but it's something that needs to be done.
Of course, of course. Brilliant. So before we end, for women who are in survival mode at the moment, what's your advice to them?
Be strategic. Try and save messages, take pictures, email yourself. Just having that strategy versus being emotional will take you so much further where you need to go.
Yeah. I think it's about
Yeah.
just collecting that
Yes,
portfolio, keeping
yes,
it,
collect
you know,
it.
just
You never know how important those messages will be one day.
Yeah,
You never know
yeah.
you need it until you do.
that's it. That's
So
it.
that's what I would say. Just be strategic about everything and think about yourself. Because in this, we always think about others as well. What will they say? What will they do? My
Yeah,
parents, my
yeah,
pastor, the
yeah,
neighbors.
yeah. I think that's the one common thing. It's sorry, and I know I just said last question before we end, but I meant asking this earlier on when you were going through this, because you know you need a lot of support. You would need a lot of support, you know, surrounding you. Did you have that village, or was it, you know, I'm Karen, I'm gonna do this, I've got to do it. It's me, it's my situation.
I did have a lot of support. I have
Lovely.
amazing siblings.
Yes.
Very grateful for them.
Yeah.
But it came down to me. They were weak emotionally, and I had to be strong.
Wow.
So I'm very grateful for the support, the church as well. But it does come down to the individual.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to do it for you.
For you. Oh, 100%. But Karen, it was so lovely having you here, and thank you so much. I know how your schedule is, so to actually have you here in Durban, I mean, we are so appreciative. And I felt like we could have done a Zoom, but having you here in person just makes it so much more real.
I'm so honored to be
thank
here.
you.
Thank you so much for having me. Durban is so hot.
Yeah. Welcome to the humidity. But yeah, thanks again, and hopefully we have you on TBHF again when this book is launched. I can't wait. So guys,
Thank you.
that's it for this episode of TBHF. See you in the next one.